In regards to being fair, in regards to being fair and just, He, the Almighty, also tells us about Him. Now remember, I'm just giving you some samples. There are lots of narrations, there are lots of verses in the Quran, and lots of lessons we can take from, but I'm just giving you some samples, just to get an idea. So we can, as we go answering that question, there's no like, this is who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, or the glorified the ultimate is, but the more you know, the more you'll understand. Now, there is a relationship between us and our Creator, and that is a relationship of master and servant. Now, when I say master and servant, or like master and slave, unfortunately, we have been programmed and we have been conditioned to think negative. Because of history. Historically, whenever we say master and slave, we see very negative things that has happened in our country here, where the master actually oppressed those who he called slaves. But when we talk about master-servitude relationship between our Creator and us, it's a totally different relationship. It's a relationship of mercy and hope and love. So we're servants to our Creator, and He's our master. That means He controls, He gives us whatever we want. If you need anything, we go to our master and we ask Him, and He'll give it to us. Because He's able to. He's the King of Kings, right? So now He's addressing all of His servants. It doesn't matter what your deen is, your creed is, your religion is. This is God Almighty addressing His servants. And He says, O my servants, I have forbidden wrongdoing for myself. I have made it forbidden for you. Therefore don't wrong one another. So He's telling us, to all of us human beings, that I will never oppress any of you guys. I will never oppress you. And I've written that I'll never do that. Therefore, don't do it to each other. Don't oppress each other. O my servants, all of you are lost except those whom I have guided. Therefore, seek guidance from me and I will guide you. So now He's the guiding light. And He's telling us, without Him, we're going to be going astray left and right. Unless we return to Him and ask Him, He will guide us. O my servants, all of you are hungry except those whom I have fed. Therefore seek food from me and I will feed you. Sustenance, whether we want to admit it or not, the fact that we have trees and animals, if you're a vegetarian, I apologize, don't mean to be offensive in that regards, but all these things are made for us and provided for us by our Creator so that we can have them. This is out of His mercy. So He's fed us. He gave us water. He gave us these fruits that we can get juice from and all these things. And without Him, we would never have it. So all of us are hungry except whom I have fed. Therefore seek food from me and I will feed you. O my servants, all of you are naked except those whom I have clothed. Therefore seek clothing from me and I will clothe you. O my servants, you sin by night and day, and I forgive all sins. Therefore seek forgiveness from me and I will forgive you. O my servants, you will not be able to harm me so as to bring any harm to me, and you will not be able to benefit me so as to bring any benefit to me. O my servants, if the first of you and the last of you and the human of you and the jinn of you were as pious and righteous as the most pious heart of anyone among you, it would not add anything to my dominion. O my servants, if the first and the last of you, the human and the jinn of you, were as wicked as the most wicked heart among you, it would not decrease from my dominion anything. Meaning, it's not benefiting our Creator that we're all righteous or we're all wicked. It doesn't affect Him. It's not going to faze Him. He's the Almighty. He's free from all wants. But it's only going to benefit us if we try to be righteous and pious. O my servants, if the first of you and the last of you and the humans of you and the jinn of you were all to stand together in one place and ask of me, and I were to give everyone what they requested, then that would not decrease what I possess except what is decreased of the ocean when a needle is dipped into it. So think about this. So if the hundreds and billions and trillions of human beings and all creatures that He has created were to stand all together, raise their hand or bow down or do whatever and ask their Creator, I'd like this, I'd like a Ferrari, I'd like a mansion, I want to be rich, I want to get married, whatever you want, whatever you can imagine. He can give every single one of us all that we want, and that would not decrease anything from His majesty and His dominion and treasures. Just as if you took a little needle, your sewing needle, you went into the middle of the ocean and dipped it in and took it out. Did that needle, when you dipped it in and took it out, did that take anything away from the ocean? Was that any significant change? Of course not. So this is what He's telling us. He is the most rich. He can grant us any treasure we want. And actually, we're encouraged, when we ask of our Creator, we ask for the best. And we ask for the most, not out of greed. You want to be the best in manners? Say, I want to have the best manners. And He'll give it to you. And be sure that He will give it to you. Have that belief in your heart that He is able to give it to you. And then the final statement, He says, O my servants, it is but your deeds that I account for you and then recompense you for. So he who finds good, or they who find good, let them praise Allah or their Lord. And they who find other than that, let them blame no one but themselves. So meaning, and we'll get to this in a second, if we fall into trials and tribulations, or maybe something's not working out in our lives, most of the time it's because of what our own hands have earned. Because our Creator wants the best for us, and He's doing everything to give us the best, and He's giving us the steps and the way to follow, because if we follow the way and steps He gives us, then we will not have some of these trials and tribulations that most of us have. Now, I'll talk about other trials and tribulations that we might run into and the reasons behind that.